Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are around the world. This is Dr. Theresa Canada, the host of the Silk Stocking Sisters podcast, here with another podcast episode to talk about my elementary school that I attended from 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. For those of you who read my book, you'll know that it's PS6, and there's a lot of information about PS6 in my book. So I wanted to share with you a lot of information right now about PS6. I'm standing in front of PS6 as we speak, and I'll be showing you a little bit about the school and things about the school. And I've already talked about the school in other podcast episodes. So I will just turn my camera and let you see something about the school while I'm speaking. All right, this is the entrance that says PS6. This is the entrance that I think that you can see a lot about the red door. It's the school is located on Madison Avenue between 82nd and 81st Street, and the border between Park and Madison Avenue. For those of you in New York City, let me see if I can provide a little bit more extension. I want to zoom in a little bit. So, okay, there's the PS6, and it says the right door says enter, the left door says is for exit. So it is supposed to go in there. So PS6 is this beautiful red door. Let me show you the staircase. This is the staircase, and the windows are still pristine. The brick walls are beautiful. Let me show you the street as I'm walking. Here is Madison Avenue and 82nd Street. This is the entrance where I would come in. Yeah, Madison Avenue and 82nd Street. So basically, this is Madison Avenue and 82nd Street. It's currently a one-way street. And across the street used to be the Copper Lantern. It's now called Nectar. And Copper Lantern was where we'd have special money in our pockets to treat ourselves to soda fountains, and cheeseburgers, and French fries. I will walk around to the other side of the building shortly, but let me just take you to show you, this is where my bus stop used to be to go uptown, to go home on this particular corner between 82nd Street and 83rd Street, but that's no longer a bus stop. So let me just keep walking and show you something else about the school. Across the street, you'll see several private buildings, and you'll see some brownstones across the street, which is still there. It's still very pristine neighborhood. It's a block away from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is on 5th Avenue. So this area has still pretty much stayed the same. So this is the schoolyard, which is still well kept. As you can all see, let me get closer if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah. So here are some. This wasn't here. These benches were not here at the time, but basically it's still the same. The schoolyard, the structure of the building is still very sturdy. And let me keep walking. And here we are to the entrance. They have it gated off. It wasn't gated off before, but now it's gated off, of course, to keep people from coming into the schoolyard. So things have changed over the years. But in the entrance, it says PF6 NYC. And then the name of the school is, schools back in the day had names. This one in particular, Lily Deborah Blake School. And this is the person who was the first principal of PS6. And she was basically who dealt with issues of women's rights and so forth. And she was involved when more women to become lawyers as well. She fought for that as well. So this is the PS6 playground. And where you see, I can't see inside because I can only show you from this angle, but that's the entrance. You would come outside that entrance right there, and you would go into the lunchroom. You would line up out here in the yard in the mornings and be released either from the door I just showed you or it's one of these doors. So it's pretty much still in great shape. There's only 3 stories, which, I think that the lower floors were for, I think the lower floors were people from the kindergarten first and maybe second, then third and fourth was maybe second floor. and fifth and sixth was probably the top floors. I don't recall specifically, but that was typically what happened. And it looks like they have some things on the roof of the schools now. I'm not really sure, but that's why I think it's happening now. Let me just see if I can see a little bit of that. Yeah, like a something is up there. But okay, well, this is basically the school where I attended from fourth grade to sixth grade. And here you have some basketball hoops, which are kind of low. I guess I could probably definitely jump on these myself if I had to. Yeah, let me see if I can. Yeah, there they are. I think on the other side of the on this other side of that blue wall, it used to be a handball court. I'm not sure it's there now. I would have to come regularly when the school's open. But right now, this is a weekend, so basically the school is open. It's not open, and it keeps people from coming in to the building. So it takes up half the block. We call them blocks back in the day. It takes up a little over half of a block. And to give people some idea, across the street, what's happening across the street, still well-kept block neighborhood. And I would have driven here to park my car right in front of the building, but it was a parade here earlier today. So of course I didn't take the risk to come back down here. So I'm down here just making sure people can say something about PS6. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to just switch over and show you my face. I'm going to walk around here and go to the other side of the building so that you can see what that looks like as well. And I want to try to get this because I don't want it to lose the sunshine because it's a lot of trees in this area, and it just says a lot about the neighborhood and about the school. I want to give you some indication of what it was like over here. Now, you imagine, I showed you my previous elementary school in a previous episode of the podcast. So now you can imagine, now this school was here in the 60s. Well, it started in the 1800s, literally. So I'm just saying to you, imagine my school that I initially attended from kindergarten to third grade was not torn down. It's still the building is still there, but it's no longer a school. And there's a lot of reasons for that. So let me just turn over my camera so you can see the rest of this building. So right now they have bike stands. New York City has all these bikes you can get on and drive. So this used to be a parking spaces where people park their cars, but of course now it's not. So let me just show you this side of the building. I just turned the corner and I'm showing you a little bit about it's still very nice over here. I was walking the block. I don't recall ever coming down to this end of the building. I don't think we ever exited or entered on the other side. I'm going to go to the next block and show you there is a door, I think, on the other side, but I don't recall ever going over there on that side of the building. And let me show you what's across the street. Still really fine stores, exclusive stores are still over here. And there's a famous Frank E. Campbell funeral chapel is well known in the city, is over here as well. So let me just switch back over. These trees were out. This tree has been here forever. I remember this tree, and it's still there and still keeping it healthy. So this is my walk along the PS6 route and give you some indication between the schools that I attended prior, the school I'm attending now. Big difference, huge difference. So let me just go around the corner here. Pretty much it takes up, from 81st Street to 82nd Street, but it only takes up half the block, a little over half the block between the avenues. So just gives you some indication of what it's like, okay? So let me just show you around here. I think this is the only, I'm going to see how many, I don't know who would basically come out of these doors. I don't recall ever coming out of these doors. Maybe if it was a fire drill or something, maybe, but I don't recall coming out of this door. This is another door. It says it has a number 2 on it. I don't know what that means. It doesn't have the same kind of entrance as the other one, but it's very similar. It's just the opposite of the other door. So this is the opposite staircase, stairwell up 3rd floor. Okay. And, you see the hose outside here. So they still have it watered. So it's well manicured lawn, manicured in terms of making sure it looks a beautiful building. So it's well taken care of. So this is a school that's still well kept from the time that I attended to now. as opposed to the school that I attended from kindergarten to third grade, which still, the building's still there. It's a very beautiful building, but it's no longer a public school. And it's been converted to housing. And it was in disarray at some point, but they built it back up, which is still a beautiful building. So here's PS6. Let me see across the street. Across the street from here, I think this, yeah, pretty much the same. I don't think much has changed at all. I don't think much has changed at all. It's still pretty much the same thing. I just scan over it. Same buildings are still here. Nothing much has changed. Still typically brownstones, and like in most parts of the city, especially down here on this side of town. This are privately owned homes. Some of them have driveways, some of them don't, but most of them don't, because I think they would have a wider brownstone. So here I am again to the next door that has the actual name of this PS6. I showed you the entrance PS6. That was the door that I was in. Here's the information. Let's see. Let's look. Okay, this is it apparently PS6 is labeled as a Department of Education, U.S. Department of Education, National Blue Ribbon School. This was designated in 2018, which is significant. And also, the mascot for PS6, the pale male. Pale male, the red-tailed hawk, is the PS6 school mascot. In 1993, pale male came to New York City and built his nest on the facade of a Fifth Avenue apartment building. He was the first and one of the only hawks to build a nest on a building. Pale male will always be a symbol of nature, enduring in an urban setting in New York City, one of the biggest cities on earth. Here at PS6, we want to follow our mascot's example and try to accept differences. Pale male, a wild animal found at home in New York City. At PS6, we embrace diversity just as pale male did. And this was a text by Nina Siegel, a class of 2006. So this is something fairly new that has been posted. So PS6 is still doing a lot of different things as a whole to make it a great school. Here's the entrance. These are double doors, of course. So this is double doors. And this, I think, has a special interest. I think people who come visit the school must come through this entrance, but it has a number 1 on it. So I assume this is number 1 door, because the other door down the way was its number 2 door. So let me just show you they have a bulletin out here that has things about September and things that are happening in September. And there's also it said, did you attend PS6? Do you have any photos or books that you would like to donate to a historical display? So apparently, I think my book is in the display here at PS6. I'm looking at this. It's a picture of a class, but I can't recognize it. I can't see it that clearly. I don't think I can't really tell what year it was. I would have to ask someone what year it is. But anyway, this is a picture of some students in the class. I must have been years ago. I don't know what year it is. Don't know what year on it. So let me follow up and back up and show you the entrance and what it says in the front of the building. Okay. It says Lily Deborah Blake School. So the actual name of the school, not just PS6, the actual name of the school is on this entrance. And this is the main, I guess, would have been assumed to be the main entrance for the buildings. And apparently the building was built in 1953. And here's the stone. It says it was built in 1953. This was not the original location, but when it was moved here and built in 1953. And it's been here ever since. So it tells you how well kept this building is. They have a stroller parking space out here. Go figure, right? Stroller parking. It says stroller parking. Okay, stroller parking. So I'm just saying to you, there's some things here that you wouldn't necessarily find elsewhere. So let me just finish going along the length of the building. We'll go to one more door. There's one more door that I want to get to and show you. And then from there, well, I think this is the auditorium. I can see the red velvet kind of curtains. So this must be the side of the auditorium still. I don't remember. It's been such a long time. I don't think I haven't been back. I've been in the building. I came here in 2018. I think it was either November or December. I'm not really sure. but I did come then, and I don't remember going. I was in the auditorium, maybe at a presentation, and I think that I talked about that a little bit. So here's the last door I want to show you, and this is like near the end. This is the end of the building, and I think it takes up 3/4 of the block because I'm almost near the end of the corner right now. So this is 3/4 of the block, and this is the end of the building for PS6. And this I can't see. Oh no, I don't think they have a. This is a back. I don't see anything here that would be able to show anything else about PS6. So here's the other side of the street. Let me go to the avenue and show you that this is Park Avenue I'm going to right now to show you Park Avenue. So Park Avenue is the other avenue other than Madison Avenue. So it borders between Park and Madison Avenues. And that gives you some indication of the kind of neighborhood PS6 is located in. So here's the corner. It says East 81st Street. Let me see if you can see, because I can barely see it myself. East 81st Street. I think you can see it. There's another sign there. And this is Park Avenue. Let me see if I can go across the street. I'm able to go across the street. Let me see if I can go across the street. If I go across the street, you can see the sign more clearly. Okay. So, yeah, it says Park Avenue. Okay. Park Avenue and East 81st Street. So this is the Park Avenue, which is a very exclusive avenue in New York City. And there's PS6 down there. So I just want to give you an idea of the difference between the school I attended initially and then PS6. So I guess you've had a nice tour of PS6, and I'm going to flip back if I can. Flip back to me as we end our little tour. But I want you to get a comparison between where I attended school initially and where I ended up. And this was a school where all these specialized programs and the instruments and the cooking classes and the chorus, and the orchestra and the band all were located, as opposed to we had very little, if nothing, at my initial elementary school. But it's okay. I think that you need to know the difference, and it should not have made much of a difference if you lived in New York City, what school you attended. But this was my school that I attended, which I had to travel alone on a New York City bus to attend in 1963. I think it was 1966, I believe it was. So anyway, I just wanted to let everybody know this was PS6. You wanted to know, now you know what it looks like, okay? So until the next episode of the Silk Stocking Sisters podcast, I'll see you and have a great day. Please subscribe and make comments and thumbs up. Bye.